Imagine being the absolute best in the world at something, but you're still living in a house with a leaky roof. Well, today we are diving into the incredible story of a champion whose life is just this huge study in contrasts. It's a journey of resilience, community, and the sheer power of a dream against, well, all odds.
3, that's the number. The number of gold medals Keerthana won at the 7th World Carom Championship. And we're talking a clean sweep, singles, doubles, and the team event. I mean, she reached the absolute pinnacle of her sport. But that victory, it just raises this huge question, right? How does a young woman from an impoverished home, a place with a leaky roof and just crushing hardships, how does she rise up to conquer the world stage? That's the amazing story we're getting into today. So, to really understand her victory, we have to start at her home in Puduvanarapettai, North Chennai. Because honestly, the contrast between her life and what she achieved, that's the core of this entire story. And this slide, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the global champion, and on the other, the stark reality of her life. A celebrated hero living with her family in a cramped, single room that actually leaks when it rains. This is not a story of wealth and privilege. This is a story of pure, raw grit.
You know, in her community, carom isn't just some board game you play for fun. For a lot of people, it's seen as a way out, a path to a totally different future. It's a pretty low-cost sport that offers this glimmer of hope, and it's just woven into the culture of the neighborhood.
So, in a place where carom means so much, how did her journey begin? Let's rewind. Let's go all the way back to the start, to a 6-year-old girl and the one person who saw her potential first.
So it was her father who first got her into the game. They actually started out on the street using this tiny little Matai board. It's almost like a toy version of the real thing. But he saw her natural talent, like right away. Eventually, they scraped enough together to get a full-sized tournament board, but with no space in their tiny home, they had to put it on a bed just so she could practice. He was her first and most important mentor. So Keerthana was on this clear path, getting better day by day. But then, when she was just 15 years old, her entire world just came to a sudden, heartbreaking halt. Her father, her coach, her biggest fan, he passed away, just suddenly, from a heart attack. The emotional devastation was, of course, immense, but it also plunged the family into a really serious financial crisis. To support her family, Keerthana had to make a series of just impossible choices. She dropped out of school in the 10th grade. She took this grueling job at a local factory. And what's most heartbreaking is she gave up the game she loved. Her dream, for all intents and purposes, was over. 250 rupees, that was what she earned every week. That's roughly $3. Just think about that. $3 a week to try and keep her whole family afloat.
So yeah, her journey as a carom player was done. The game had just stopped.
But this is where the story takes such an incredible turn. Because even when Keerthana had given up on herself, her community refused to let her dream die. The real turning point came from her former coach, Nithya. He saw her working and just wouldn't accept it. He went right up to her and said these powerful words, promising to cover her tournament fees if she would just quit the factory and come back to the board. And that was the spark she so desperately needed. And that support, it just kept growing. As she started competing again, she caught the eye of the local sports minister, Udyanidhi Stalin. Now, he gave her crucial financial help for her trip to the World Championship. But according to her mom, it was his words, "Go and win," that gave her that final bit of encouragement she really needed to believe in herself. And with that support behind her, she dove back in completely. And her schedule was, well, it was absolutely grueling. Practice started at 4 a.m., she'd take a break for chores, then it was right back to practicing. In the afternoons, she coached younger kids to earn a little money before finally getting home late at night. This wasn't just a hobby, it was a relentless, all-consuming mission. But you know what really sets her apart? It's her mental toughness. Her coach says she has no fear. It doesn't matter if it's the first shot of the tournament or the final championship-winning strike, her hand never shakes. She just plays with the same unwavering courage. And all of that, the sacrifice, the community support, that iron will, it all brought her to the Maldives for the 7th World Carom Championship. This was it. This was her moment. And she absolutely seized it. She didn't just win, she dominated. Gold in the singles event, gold in the doubles event, and gold in the team event. A perfect, historic Triple Crown victory. Unbelievable.
And back home, that little narrow lane in North Chennai, it just exploded with joy. Her neighbors, the same community that helped her get back in the game, they celebrated her victory like it was their own. They were sharing sweets, putting up banners, honoring the local girl who had become the queen of carom.
Her journey is just this powerful testament to the human spirit. I mean, from a leaky roof to the very top of the world, it's a story that feels almost impossible. And it really forces us to ask a much bigger question.
How many other Keerthanas are out there right now? How many future world champions are working in factories, their talent completely undiscovered or undeveloped, just waiting for a community to support them, a coach to believe in them, and, just a chance to play?